from the Fox 5 studios, this is Silver State Sports Live.
Let the madness begin. Happy start of the tournament to all who celebrate, and welcome inside to Silver State Sports Live. I'm Mike Davis.
And I'm Mariah Janos. We'll get to the big dance later in the show, but we're also talking pro ball, as this time next week, the vote to bring an NBA franchise to the Valley will be held. But we have to start with the team we already have here, the Aces and the WNBA. Wheels are finally in motion. After 100 hours of negotiating, the WNBA and Players Association reached a verbal agreement on a new CBA in the wee hours of Wednesday morning, reaching a historic new deal that has been described as life-changing for the players. I
love that. Okay, so a little refresher course on the terms. The salary cap is increasing from $1.5 million to $7 million. Secondly, the Supermax is increasing from $250,000 to $1.4 million, and the average salary is also going to increase from $120,000 to $600,000. Next, the revenue share is going to 20%, and lastly, there will be some improved player benefits such as terms for housing. And here to talk all about it with us is our dear friend of the show, one of the best dressed guys, Willie Ramirez of WGRamirez.com. So Willie, we've been going back and forth about whether or not a deal would get done. What do you make of these new terms? Because they're pretty significant.
They are. It's sort of monumental, if you will. It's a transitional phase. It's where we are with the new era and where the WNBA is headed, where it's at and where it's headed, especially with the broadcasting deal that they're embarking on. So I don't have a problem with it. The only thing I really had a problem with, I think we talked about it, was why did it take so long to go through 100 hours when you've had since the Aces were driving down the strip on a bus celebrating a third championship in 4 years? Why did it take so long for the WNBA and the players? Why? Because they wanted to butt heads. They wanted to stand 10 toes down and really stand their ground. And you could say, well, yeah, but they were, this one wouldn't budge or that one wouldn't budge. Well, they wouldn't budge 2 weeks ago either when the 100 hours began. So that's really the only problem I have. I have no problem with what they came to, the deal they came to. I think those numbers were pretty across the board. What we were hearing it was going to be was those final decimal points here and there. And the biggest thing coming down to it was revenue share against net versus gross or the housing. And I think they ironed it all out. They wanted to get the season started. And as we talked about, it was a matter of the players not wanting to strike. They said, hey, we authorize it, but it doesn't mean that they wanted to.
Right.
They wanted to get this done.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I was sighing relief when they finally got it done. Now, as we mentioned, the Supermax is now at $1.4 million. There's 100 players that are up for free agency in the next month. There's a reason why they didn't sign contracts back when they were offered, because they were waiting for this new deal and to maximize that money. So they're getting that. Asia Wilson is on that long list of players. How fast do you think the Aces are going to get to work with her?
Oh, here's the thing. Let's just say it doesn't get done until the end of March, March 31st. People do not start fretting. Don't start. Let's not get the clickbait out there. Let's not get the bots moving, and let's not get the social media trends that are up there and saying Asia Wilson hasn't signed yet. She doesn't want to leave Las Vegas. The Aces obviously want to lock up the face of the league right now. It'll get done. It's a lock stock. I mean, she's made it clear that this is home. She wants to be here. The Aces obviously want the face of professional sports right now in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we can argue that across the board, right? I think we talked about it one time on Sin City Beat. Out of everybody right now, the star players that are in this town of the three professional franchises, Asia is it. So it'll get done. Callie Finn of the Las Vegas Review-Journal did report, so give her credit. She through sources that they're going to move quickly on this. I have a call out to Asia's camp. Haven't heard back. Obviously, they're very busy with so many other free agents as well. But I expect that it's going to be a slam dunk. It's not even going to be an issue.
Hey, that would be a good offseason. Her boyfriend gets 83, and she also gets a huge contract.
In a word, bam.
Bam.
Bam, exactly. And look at you just also plugging Sin City Beat. That's why you're the best.
We love that.
Willie, so let me ask you.
Call that cross-promotion.
Yes.
Cross-promotion.
Yes,
you know all about that. Let me ask you this, because Mark Davis, he has deep pockets. This is a guy I wish I was related to him. Different Davis, though. Do you foresee him and the Aces going out and getting another big-time superstar, spending some money so they can pair that player with Asia?
I don't immediately, and I could be wrong here, just because everything's been hush-hush during negotiations. We're not going to be in there until another 3 weeks probably when training camp opens to really have those discussions. But I don't know when Becky Hammon and Nikki Fargas will put their heads together and say, hey, let's do this, because if you remember, it wasn't until the middle of the season, right before the deadline, that Melissa Smith was brought in. So when you have a championship roster and you have to see who's coming back, let's not forget they also have to put 5 players that are going to be made available in the expansion draft. So let's see who's coming back. Let's see who's not. And I don't know if you necessarily need another big-time player as much as you need role players off the bench. You have Chelsea Gray, who looked fantastic at Unrivaled. She was the MVP of the regular season, right? You got Asia Wilson coming back. I would presume you have Melissa Smith coming back. I think you have one of the best second-year players coming back in Aaliyah Nye, who's going to learn. She played at Athletes Unlimited. And then go down the list with Jackie Young and the players and those role players that are coming back. If they lose a player like Kia Stokes, if they lose some of the players that were part of the foundation of the 3 championships, yes, maybe. But I don't know if it necessarily needs to be a big name.
Okay.
And now, obviously, I just mentioned 100 free agents set to hit the market. How much movement, especially with this new cap space being factored in, how much movement do you expect? Do you think this league is going to look very different? These teams are going to get rearranged? No.
I don't think that we're going to see significant. The reason there's so many, see, last year was when we saw the big facelift, right? And everybody was moving around. We saw Brittany go to Atlanta, KP going to LA. We could go down the list. That was because that was them taking advantage of free agency then, but that's why they also all signed one-year contracts, because of the CBA. They knew they were opting out, and they positioned themselves perfectly. They're not going to move a lot of places all over again. They're happy with where they went last year, just on a one-year deal. Now, hey, okay, now their max contract is this, or the average salary is this. They can just get their bigger payday and just stay where they wanted to go last year. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a facelift. I just think that it's going to be the contracts are now going to, they can all sign the contracts they want. KP, why would she want to leave when she just rejoined De'Erica? They have a bright young staff. I think that they like their coach, and she's home. So that's just an example.
All right, great insight there. Still to come on Silver State Sports Live. Willie is sticking around. You can't have somebody who's dressed this good, smells this good, just be here for one block. He's going to stick around and talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. They're currently outside of the playoff picture. We're going to see if they can right the ship just in time for the playoffs.
And don't forget, the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network is your home for the most live local sports. This week, catch the Desert Dogs on the road in Rochester Saturday night at 7. Then on Sunday, UNLV's softball team hosts San Diego State at noon. Both those games airing live right here on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network.
You're watching Silver State Sports Live.
All right, so since resuming play post-Olympic break, it's been quite the struggle for the Vegas Golden Knights. The same issue persists, falling behind early and having absolutely no answers to get back into it.
Yeah, all season the Knights have had medieval maniacs holding their breaths with their early deficit, fighting back late, forcing overtime, and trying to get it done. It seems like the other shoe has officially dropped.
Yeah, the most recent loss coming at the hands of Buffalo. The Sabres shut out the guys in gold 2-rip, and Vegas has slid into third in the Pacific Division standings behind Anaheim and Edmonton.
So let's welcome back in our guy, Willie G. We're now on the sofa with you. Good to have you here on the couch. So where's your level of concern when it comes to cracking the postseason for this team?
Man, I think they're going to get into the postseason. They're in third place, so right now they're in. I don't know how much they're in danger of missing, considering that Edmonton Oilers are missing Leon Draisaitl for the rest of the season. It's going to be tough on them for the home stretch, especially with a lot of teams that are going to be coming at them as well. So with 14, I think it's 14 games left, 13 games left in the season. They're going to have to lean on their veteran leadership. You know, Mark Stone obviously is a big presence. He means a lot. I know a lot of people were concerned all of a sudden when they fell back, took a step backwards against Buffalo after hitting a nice little win streak. But let's not forget that Buffalo's been one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference all season, but since December 9th, they've been the number 1 team in the NHL. So it's not like the Vegas Golden Knights lost to the Sabres of past. They lost to the best and hottest team in the NHL for the past 3 months. So that, on top of the fact that there was an empty net goal, and Adin Hill has played really well, and he was the Stanley Cup champion netminder. So it's a matter of, as Bruce said, taking care of those rebounds, those second chance opportunities. It's like in basketball, getting the offensive rebound. They got to get in front of those offensive rebounds. I was there for that Sabres game, and there were so many opportunities. Missed shots, missed fires. I think there were 22 missed shots. Buffalo missed 14. So you're talking about crossbars, firing over the net. They have to zero that in. It's unlike them because we're talking about veterans. When are they going to do it? I don't know, but they're running out of time. It's one of those things where you say, hey, this is a veteran group. They're going to get it together, but why is it taking so long? It's sort of they're taking a page out of the WNBA and WNBPA's book. Why are you taking so long? Let's go. They know what to do. When it clicks, it clicks. The problem's going to be in the playoffs because if they play lackadaisical against hungry teams in the playoffs, it's going to be problematic.
Well, you just mentioned the name there, Mark Stone. You talk about relying on veteran leadership. Obviously, he gets them gassed up whether he's on the ice or not. How much of it is on him, do you think, at this point? Or is it more of a collective, all those vets that are still here need to step up right now?
Yeah, I don't think it's solely on Mark Stone. I mean, he does what he does, and his presence is enough. I think it's everybody else doing their job and providing their role. And let's not forget they picked up a couple of forwards, just at the break, at the deadline right after the Olympic break, which was just a couple of weeks ago. So they're still finding their way there. The one key name, and I said Mark Stone for a minute, but going into the postseason, let's not forget William Karlsson has been out. If he comes back, you're talking about one of the best two-way players in the league. He makes things happen at both ends of the ice. Very good with the back check. He can transition well. He can move with the puck well. And he brings another true center back to the lineup. So right now you're talking about a 4-center team up and down the lineup, but the chemistry just isn't there. They're not taking advantage of those second opportunities, those rebounds. Mark, to answer your question, it's not solely on his shoulders. The rest of the team knows this is a team that there's a lot of Stanley Cup rings on this roster. They just have to find their flow. Mark Stone can only do so much in leading with his voice, with his presence, but you have a guy like Jack Eichel who last year finished 5th in the Hart Trophy voting. Yeah. You have other players who have been deep run into the playoffs. You have other Stanley Cup champs. The one person that I will say that they're missing, and I wasn't sure how big it was going to be. I knew the presence would be big, but I think they're really missing on the blue line is Alex Pietrangelo.
Yep.
Wow.
Another Mark Stone type figure where this is a guy, he's a 2-time Stanley Cup champ. He was the captain of the St. Louis Blues when they went from worst to first, from January 1st into that 2019 championship. He makes a big deal on the defensive blue line. So there's a lot of roles, but you know what? These are veteran guys. That's why they get paid millions of dollars. It's time to step up, boys.
Okay, so we got 14 games left tonight, taking on the Mammoth. A crucial 2 points, especially when it comes to staying competitive in those standings. What's the key to tonight? Do you think they get a W?
I think just jumping on them early. And this is the thing. When they're up against it and they're about to leave for a road trip, there's something about the Golden Knights that fires them up. I don't know what it is. It's a sense of urgency. I wish that they knew how to play with that all the time. It would make my life a lot easier in terms of writing stories because I never know which mood you were writing in. But I think by jumping on them early, I think Adin Hill has found his groove. If he's going to continue to, start and play through, because this is the time where there's no days off, there's no giving anybody a break, other than if they play a back-to-back, for the simple reason was once they get to the playoffs, he's going to be playing every game anyway. So I think if he stays hot, the Mammoth come in. They've fallen off from this allure that they had earlier in the season. But jump on them early and find the back of the net. I mean, they know how to do it. If you're getting 22 to 24 shots that are totally missing, and then you add that to the shots on goal, some of them should be going in. Some of them should, you take half those 24 they missed the other night. That's 12 more that a goalie has to defend. 3 of them should be going in.
Absolutely. Now, whether the Knights make the postseason or get bounced early, put on your GM hat for a second, what adjustments what area are you tackling this offseason? Does more youth need to be injected into this roster? We've talked about the veterans.
I think defense. I think the blue line is where things need to shore up a little bit. I think there will be. I think you're going to see some movement, only for the fact that you have you have some veteran names back there. You have Shea Theodore back there, but it's a completely different look. Braden McNabb's there. If Pietrangelo is done, we don't know if he's done. They didn't really say that, but if he's not coming back and his career is over, I think you need to put some strength on there. And then you look at your fourth line, your third and fourth line. You look at your wingers, and you just try to strengthen with scorers. But more than anything, I think the biggest thing that Kelly McCrimmon would probably address is the blue line and where to strengthen things with his defense.
All right, Willie, you're the best. Thank you so much for spending so much time with us. Guys, coming up, the NBA may be coming to Vegas, but LeBron James wants no part of it. We're discussing his post-game comments about which ownership group we'd like to see get involved with Vegas's newest NBA franchise on the way. All right, welcome back to Silver State Sports Live. We got to talk more NBA expansion. We got to break this down, Mariah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's heating up in more ways than one here in Vegas. Last week, news of a scheduled vote on NBA expansion for two cities made the round. Seattle and Vegas set to be in the process for bidding. ESPN reported that proposals would range from $7 to $10 billion for each expansion franchise. And Governor Joe Lombardo is taking this bid seriously, having already met with an ownership group led by Hall of Famer Magic Johnson, and even a group that includes Vegas Golden Knights owner Bill Foley.
Yeah, another name being thrown around the ring is LeBron James. But the King says he wants no part in NBA's expansion to Vegas. After dropping 30 last night on the Rockets, King James said when asked about pursuing a stake in the Vegas NBA ownership group, he said, quote, "No, I'm not at all." So he's not interested.
Really changing his tune there from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Which is okay. But all right, so LeBron might be out, but there's a lot of other names in the mix here. Who do you want, Mike?
I mean, I did think LeBron was going to make a lot of sense,
yes.
But I do think those two names you mentioned earlier are actually perfect.
Right.
We already know Bill Foley. He does a great job as an owner here in our city, from being involved in community initiatives, from putting together a great product on the ice, from staying competitive, willing to spend money, all that stuff. So I think Bill Foley is a no-brainer, and he knows this city. He'd be a perfect owner for an incoming NBA franchise. But my dude, Magic Johnson, I mean, this is a guy, he knows what it takes. A Hall of Famer, a legend with the Lakers, but he was a tremendous businessman after playing in the NBA. He scooped up a bunch of Starbucks franchises, I believe. He had some movie theaters he was owning. So this is a guy, he knows business. He was a part of the Dodgers ownership group. So I think those two are no-brainers, and I'd love to see either of them become the billionaire owner of a new incoming NBA franchise. But what about you, Mariah?
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I really like Bill Foley as well. What I like is, if you do have Bill Foley, he's the one that's in charge of who splits T-Mobile Arena with the Golden Knights. There doesn't have to be a rush on construction or building a new arena. You could split it like they have TD Garden in Boston, Madison Square Garden in New York. You can balance out the basketball and hockey seasons. There's just constant business going down at T-Mobile Arena. I feel like that would be pretty appealing to him. But also another name, Shaquille O'Neal, we didn't talk about him.
Yeah.
He's also part of the rumor mill as well. He knows a thing or two about business as well, and opening up businesses and being sustainable in business. So I'm all about Shaquille O'Neal. I'm all about all three of these guys. Why don't the three of them come together? How about we all just sit down?
Why don't you and I pool our money together?
Yes, all of our $2. We could be a great ownership group here. But I do really like, as you mentioned, Bill Foley of it all. His familiarity with the city, he already knows what it takes. He owns a bunch of soccer clubs as well. So it's not just the Golden Knights. He knows how to run teams from different leagues across all sports. So I lean towards Bill Foley and that T-Mobile Arena plan, but you can't deny Magic Johnson or Shaq.
Yeah,
really.
Those would all be great. It's fascinating because the Adelsons and all their ties to Vegas, now that they're the owners of the Mavericks, that's not going to happen. But you would have thought, I think a lot of people anticipated over the past few years when this was a rumor, it would be the Adelsons taking this NBA franchise. But now that they have the Mavs, I mean, I really do think it's going to end up being a celebrity type owner, especially that just fits
it just goes with the vibe.
Vegas, So Magic, Shaq, Bill Foley, any of them would be great. We just want a team here. That's it.
We just want a team. LeBron's out. I think LeBron's reasoning is that
he wants to play.
He wants to play, and that speeds up that makes it official that he would need to retire in the next 2 years and speed it up, whereas he's kind of going with what he's feeling right now. Because he and I are such good friends, and he tells me these things.
They don't make 41-year-olds like they used to when I was a kid. I don't know what it is, peptides, green smoothies, but it's something.
Yeah, no, between him and Tom Brady, it's like, let's just age in reverse. Why not? We have a lot to look forward to.
I feel like I'm at 34. I need the wheelchair out of here.
Yeah, you're down a knee, I'm down an Achilles. We have a lot of problems between the two of us, so they're doing way better than we are. But coming up, the madness, it already just started right now, but it's officially underway. We're seeing just how busted brackets are already.
Okay, Mariah, so let's talk about brackets. A lot of them are already busted. Duke, they won. They kept it alive as a 1 seed. We thought they would lose it, but they held on against Siena.
Yes, and I was rooting for Siena because I went to Syracuse, and Jerry McNamara is the coach, and he is a legend, so I was really pulling for them since Syracuse isn't in it. But over 60% of brackets also had Ohio State over TCU. Unfortunately, I'm part of this statistic. You are not.
I had TCU.
I was going
like Jamie Dixon.
I was going to do TCU as well, and I switched at the last minute, so that's really annoying.
You also had McNeese.
McNeese, guys. McNeese is the team, and I'm so upset about this.
Who names an institution McNeese? What are they, the Kleenexes? The McNeese Kleenexes?
I called McNeese's first round win last year. They did it. I thought they could do it again because Vandy is just a lie of an SEC team. They are weak. They're not really SEC. So I was riding with McNeese. They let me down, and now I don't know where to go from here.
You're going to be back here tomorrow, too. That's where you're going to be.
We'll see you then.